Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bindi, and here on this channel we practice flexibility of the mind, the body, and the spirit. Today we are going to be talking about the three most common, uncommon ways that I notice people block their manifestations. I am a manifestation, law of attraction, spiritual life coach, and I do notice similarities amongst my clients. So I want to bring those similarities to you so that maybe you can notice something about your process, and hopefully this video will make it easier for you to attract your desired reality to you. Not gonna even hold you. Let's just jump into it. Just kidding, I'm gonna hold you for a second. If you like this video, then I just want you to know I do have a blog post where I do dive a little bit deeper on the subjects that we talk about. You know, in case you just want to scroll a little bit, learn a little bit more. Yeah, it'll be in the description box. The first block that I notice amongst my clients is this fear of momentum. Something I really love. If you've been on the channel for a while, you know, I'm a big fan of scripting. Scripting is the act of journaling and articulating how you would like a specific event in your life to go. It is so powerful because it allows you to dig down into your subconscious and see how you feel about specific parts of your life and your reality, and you can understand your doubts and your hesitations and whether you truly desire what you think you desire. It's so powerful. And the thing that's really cool about scripting is that when you uncover a doubt, you can hear the doubt in your mind and then script on paper something that helps you flip the doubt. For example, let's say that a person really wants to buy a house. They don't think it's possible. They don't think it's possible because the job that they're currently in, they don't like it at all. Like, everything about it sucks. And they cannot imagine getting a house because that means that they would have to stay at that job for God knows how long, right? So let's say that this person scripts and they say, my boss and I are having a wonderful conversation. My boss pats me on the back and says, congratulations on your new house. I cannot wait to come to the housewarming. It feels so good to put the turmoil between me and my boss behind me, right? Let's say that that's what the person in this example scripts. That means that in that moment, that person has just jumped from the reality of hating their job to the reality of loving their job. And a lot of times, we're not ready for the momentum that scripting gives us. That person has the opportunity to feel that energy in their body and take that energy to work the next day. But because that person has so many memories and so many negative ideas about their job, it can be difficult for all those memories and all those negative ideas to align with this new energy. And this can be true for any situation that a person is in when they raise their vibration. A lot of times we resist raising our vibration because we don't feel worthy, or honestly because we're stubborn. We see the world one way and we don't want to change the way we see the world. But here's the thing. If you want to manifest your desired reality, your perspective has to change. You have to change. If you want your physical reality to change, you have to change what's on the inside first. That's all I'm trying to say. And a lot of people fear the momentum that comes with raising their vibration, because when you raise your vibration, a lot of things around you change. And a lot of things that you thought were true before turn out to not be true. And we have to allow for our ego to take a back seat so that we can expand and become the people that we want to be. If you feel like you struggle with the energy of momentum and you get nervous when you start to raise your vibration, you start to second guess, is life really this good? Is it really this good? I suggest grounding yourself, reminding yourself that you are worthy of good and that life is supposed to feel good. So even though it's new and even though you haven't experienced it before, you can trust it and you can find ease in it. Ground yourself. And I would also suggest the affirmation, I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. Because when all these good things start happening, when you haven't experienced a lot of good things before, a lot of times we could just think it's a really mean prank, right? And I get it. I was there. And my life had to just keep getting better and better and better and better and better until eventually I was like, okay, life's just good. Life's just good, right? So I'm not going to sit here and tell you, like, just believe it's good. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. But it's up to you to be committed enough to the journey to get to the point where you can relax and believe. I would almost compare it to a roller coaster. Having the ability to ground yourself is kind of like buckling your seatbelt. Are you going to be on the roller coaster with your seatbelt on or your seatbelt off? The second block that I observe amongst my clients is difficulty allowing the good in. Pessimism gives your power away. When you are consistently expecting for things to go wrong, consistently expecting for things to go badly, then you are creating a reality where you're going to get what you expect. The reason why a lot of people don't experience miracles is because they do not believe that miracles exist. So a miracle literally could be happening right in front of their face, but because their brain says miracles don't exist, they're not going to digest what they're seeing as a miracle. They'll just brush it off and miss the whole vibrational gift that source is trying to give them. And when you become so accustomed to being pessimistic, your body also becomes accustomed to constant disappointment, constant frustration, constant anger, depending on whatever the specific person's story is. The example I want to give for this is, imagine a person in a toxic relationship. This girl and her boyfriend fight all the time, all day, every day. And she gets into the law of attraction and she decides that she wants to raise her vibration, live a better life. And she starts to raise her vibration. She starts to find gratitude for her boyfriend and everything. And it gets better. They stop fighting as much and, things aren't as stressful. What will most likely end up happening is a person who is consistently in conflict, consistently in fight or flight, consistently angry, consistently frustrated, all of the things. A person who is consistently in that place, is their body will be preparing to feel that, even if the external reality stops giving the person opportunities to feel that way. What I am trying to say is that this person, her and her boyfriend can stop fighting, but the next day she might realize that she's irritated. Like, let's say her boyfriend gets home every day at 5 p.m. and they have a fight every day at 5 p.m., but they've stopped fighting. The same person may notice that around 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m., they're tense, they're angry, and they are ready to snap at whomever wants it, right? So that's just what our bodies do. Our bodies memorize how we live so that we can, keep the train moving. How we live and how we conduct our lives, our brain doesn't know whether it's good or bad for us. It just thinks that's what we want to do. So let's just keep the show rolling. So when we are pessimistic about our reality, and when we are not, I don't want to say just grateful, but when we don't have higher vibrational feelings about our reality, not just gratitude, but love, joy, fulfillment, excitement, confidence, like all of the higher vibrational feelings, when we don't feel those that way about our reality, the lower vibrational feelings our body starts to expect. And that can make it very difficult to allow the good in when you start to intentionally raise your vibration. So in this case, what I would suggest to my client, if they said that they were in this situation, is I would suggest to them that when they notice their inner state start to plummet, when they notice their vibrations start to go down, even when they are trying to raise their vibration and practice affirmations and meditate and do all the things, I would challenge my client to think as if they were an optimistic person. What would those thoughts sound like? And I would also tell my client to expect to feel like this is the stupidest thing that they've ever done, because it just is what it is. And just because you are putting in the work to imagine what you would be like if you were more optimistic doesn't mean that you're just going to jump into that personality. But what it does mean is that you're going to understand why you're not optimistic and give yourself the opportunity to consciously choose to not be optimistic. Because when it's your choice, that's when you have all your power back. But when you're choosing to be pessimistic because that's just your pattern, that's when it's it takes all your power away. You feel helpless and you're just like, why is my life like this? So having the opportunity to take the time to slow down and say, well, if I were more optimistic, how would I think? What would I think? If I had rainbows shooting out my ears, what would I think about this situation? Giving yourself the opportunity to do that and then compare your thought process. Powerful stuff. Powerful, powerful stuff. And the last block that I would like to talk about today, which might just be the most important one, is resisting the flow. Resisting the flow. Manifesting, at least here on this channel, manifesting is co-creation, right? I do not teach that we do this ourselves. We are not waving a magic wand and saying, I want this, poof, we got it. On this channel, I study Abraham Hicks. We work with source, okay? We work with God. We say what we want and we work with source to get it. And a lot of times when we don't get what we want, source is working on developing us into being the types of people who can maintain what we want, which is why a lot of people don't manifest what they want immediately. But that being said, the co-creation process is not just you, right? Because if it were just you, then it would all turn out the way that you imagined. But because we are only one half of the process, there's a lot of the process that's unseen to us. There are a lot of things that are going to happen that we cannot predict. And when unpredictable things happen, we have to be very aware of when we resist the unpredictable. Because when we lean so much into the familiar and wanting everything to be predictable, we're actually keeping everything in our reality exactly the same. I'll keep saying it. In order to create a new reality for yourself, you have to have new thoughts, you have to experience new things. In order to change your reality, you have to change. Woo, this big bird just flew by my window. I thought it was gonna fly into my window. That was stressful. We can become so rigid in how we see things that we disconnect from the guidance that source gives us. I can give you an example. The last yoga video that I uploaded, I might not be able to tell, but over the course of 2 hours, I filmed that joint 3 times because I just kept having technical difficulties. And I scripted before I filmed. I scripted that because I usually get anxiety before I film, because it's like I have to film a yoga class. Like I have to teach a yoga class, and on top of that, like make sure the cameras are good, the lights are good, my kids are quiet. Like it's a whole thing. So I scripted beforehand just to keep my mind in a good place. And when all of these different things started happening, I definitely felt the desire to just give up and to not film my class. When the first thing that had happened was my mic wasn't, or the first thing that happened was I got tongue-tied. So I was like 10 minutes in and I got tongue-tied, so I had to stop. When I stopped, I realized my mic wasn't plugged in. So if I would have filmed the whole class wouldn't have had sound. The second time, I forgot what happened the second time, but when I had stopped filming, I realized I left a backlight on and it's an LED light. So on the camera, this light blinks like crazy. And if I would have kept it on, the video would have been unusable. And then the last time I tried to film it, my camera overheated. So it cut off like 10 minutes before I was done with the class. And I was so frustrated, and I was like, I'm gonna just stop, I'm gonna just try this another day. But I know when I do that, I don't ever come back to it because I get so annoyed. So I was like, no, I should just try to finish. And instead of just like starting over, I moved the camera angle, and it actually made the class more dynamic and kind of cool, because then the class had 2 different angles. Instead of being defeated, I let the bumps in the road actually be like signs on the road on which way to go. I let the mistakes guide me, and I got a finished product that I was very, very, very happy with. So that's an example. When you are manifesting, allow yourself to notice when there are hiccups, when there are bumps, when things aren't going as smoothly as you expect, and see if there's a lesson in the chaos. See if there's a lesson in the unknown, and see if you can get to a place where you just learn how to ride the wave. I think I said in the blog post that manifesting with source is kind of like learning how to surf. You can't control the waves, but you can control how you ride the wave. And I think that's it. So those are the 3 most common, uncommon ways that I notice my clients blocking their manifestations, and I do hope that this video helped you, this video, if you would like to check out my coaching page on my website and get more information about that, I will also put that in the description box. Otherwise, please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Also, if you'd like me to expand on anything that I talked about on the channel, just let me know down below in the comment box and I'll talk about it at a future time. Last but not least, please make sure that you're subscribed and that you click that notification bell so that you can be notified when I come out with a new video. Bye.